Welcome, John. Another week in.
I know, John. I know. I'm grand. Fine, John.
I'm not sure. I must check up. I think we've only one more show before Christmas now. Whether it's this one or could be 2 weeks' time. Yeah. I'm not sure because the radio station's shutting down. So
all right,
for Christmas,
a little bit of a shut, like ourselves.
Like ourselves. Yeah, we'll be shutting down as well. So what are we talking about today, John?
I don't know. We were kind of chatting there about talking about all things Christmas, and I suppose because it's community focused, like just our memories of Christmas, and just to remind people not to, I suppose, with Christmas and all the financial burdens that go with it, to be mindful of, setting themselves realistic goals, that they're not putting themselves under pressure, that kind of stuff we were kind of talking about, right?
In fairness, I know when we were growing up, we didn't have much. No, I'm a lot older than you.
You're not a lot older, John.
You'll probably get 1 or 2 presents, but now kids are expecting 10 or 11 presents.
I mean,
these are dear presents.
Yeah, the credit union looked after us at Christmas every year. That's I remember it's the only one, the loan my mother would get would be the credit union. That was to sort out Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, these days now with the cost of living and even the consoles now. I mean, the price of I think a PlayStation 5 with a game was €600 at one point. Whoa. I mean, for a working family, that's more than an average wage. And to be mindful, like. Then people are putting things on the never with the credit cards, and the bills come in January. Then and you're how will I pay it? And I'm under pressure.
Under pressure straight away doing the year stats.
Yeah,
and it's catch up then for the rest of the year.
Yeah. I mean, kids should you want to give your kids as much as you can, but to be mindful of how much you spend on them because you're putting the family under pressure won't be helpful in the long run anyway.
No, because actually, as my late father used to say, every day is Christmas Day now for kids, because even my nephews and nieces or even our grandkids, anytime you go bring them out, it's probably off the Smiths. You get them something small. I know it's still a toy, but that bit of excitement for Santa coming is gone.
There's a little bit more disposable income, but January's always tough for people, and I believe all those helplines, with MABs and all these Samaritans, after Christmas or during Christmas can be tough, because we know it's a lonely time for some people as well. Yeah. But just then you have the added pressure, and there's some really good parents out there who might be on hard times they want to see the little smile on their kids' faces, and we all do.
We all do.
But just to be, seek the help if you need help, support with it. Set a kind of a realistic goal. The Christmas should be, I suppose, about the family rather than the item.
Yeah.
And but it's easy for people to say that, or I'm employed and stuff, but there are people there that might struggle more.
Probably hand to mouth.
Week to week, day to day.
And their kids are going out then playing with the other kids that might be a small bit luckier than them. That Santa brought them something better. Yeah. And then they're looking at their kids and the heartbreak on their face, and it's an awful situation.
Children can understand the financial, and they shouldn't have to worry about that. To be, your child's life should be full of wonder and awe, and not worrying about
the innocence,
the fact that the bank has put the mortgage rates up, whatever. Yeah. But look, just to be mindful of that, I suppose.
And in some situations, John, kids are more they're able to get over things easier than we do.
Yeah.
The parent feels worse than the child actually does, because after a couple of minutes of playing with each other's forgotten about. But still, I can understand families in over Limerick or Ireland, and you're looking out the door at this lad going around in a lovely big bike, and there's your child with something, and you can understand that bit of hurt.
Of course, because I suppose the society we have here is based on, we have these principles of strong social principles that we look out for. We're not like America, where it's about the dollar and that, and they don't seem to have the same way of looking at people that don't have it. Like we don't mind paying more taxes to ensure that we have some sort of medical card system, and we know it's not a great system, but at least there's something there. But in America, they don't kind of look at it the same way, or other countries that wouldn't have a social kind of medical kind of system. We
are lucky.
In this country, we tend to try to pass the equity quite fairly with a progressive tax system. And we know there's loads of issues in this country, but we have a sense of fairness and looking out for our neighbour, especially our neighbour that mightn't have it, which I suppose is built into us, I suppose, from the days of Connolly and Larkin and all this.
That's right.
The unions and all this kind of stuff. And and it's important to kind of be mindful that other people don't have as much as your neighbour, just because they have a flash car in the front.
Doesn't mean
there might be nothing in the fridge.
Doesn't mean anything.
They're trying to give that image out to their other people. Look, I'm okay, I'm doing well. But inside then they might be struggling with an unpaid electricity bill or you know, and I just think with Christmases we put ourselves under that pressure.
We do.
You know, you see houses lit up there. Not as much no more, I suppose, since the electricity went kind of high. But you know, you could see
this here is lit up anyway, John. You're going to get some bill after Christmas.
I know. LED lights, Jan.
And this is only coming to the end of November.
LED display, it's supposed to be cheaper, I'm told.
Yeah.
We'll see when the bill comes in. But anyway, but stuff like that, it's not keeping up with the Joneses. I suppose a little bit of that as well, isn't it?
It is. I think, well, some people asked the question before, are we gone a bit more materialistic in Ireland? Have we caught up with the rest of the world?
We are.
You know, we're judged by the size of the car or what windows you have in your house or if you have a carpet down or you have this or what size of a TV you have and things like that.
We don't want to lose that.
We don't want to lose the innocence, you know.
Well, even, you know, the way strangers salute strangers in the street, how you doing and all. Yeah. And I suppose you see sometimes younger generation, the head's buried in the phone or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a natural way we're going. I don't know.
I hope not.
Because it's very unique and Irish.
Yeah.
To say it to a stranger if you walk past them in the street.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the easiest thing in the world, really, isn't it?
Or a smile or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, the flashing the lights when you leave someone through.
That's right. And
that kind of stuff. But I hope we don't lose that, because that makes us unique, I suppose. Even having a chat with one of our colleagues, he's Polish. He said,
"That's right.
That's not the way it is over there." And he's here so long now, he's got used to it. And he's, how are you now?
Yeah.
Seamus from Poland inside.
That's right. Seamus. But he even said, John, even in his own country, that if you said that to someone in Poland, they'd be looking at you kind of what you want. What you want.
Yeah.
You
and that's just cultural.
Yeah.
And you know, there's no harm in that way either, because they're not used to it. But we don't want to lose that kind of sense of looking out for our neighbours, smiling, and even though someone's a stranger,
having a chat. Just stopping on the road, having a chat.
Yeah. Instead of the materialistic way of, I must have this now, he must have the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox. Whatever.
I think we...
No, but I understand children will want those kind of things.
Of course.
And you want to provide something for them.
Of course.
Well, just draw a limit.
Yeah, you have to. For your own, because the bills that come in after Christmas are astronomical.
Or the credit card bills.
Your month's paying them off.
Absolutely.
That's even for electrics.
And people will max them out. The credit cards will be maxed out.
Yeah.
You know, and then the more you max out, the more you have to pay back. And then
that's right. And the interest, don't forget the interest.
You're starting the year on the wrong foot.
Yeah, you're under pressure for the year. You're only able to pay it off, and you're probably coming around again to start again. So you're never out of date.
It's a cycle.
It is a cycle, and it's a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it is a vicious cycle.
So
as I said, we go back to the times when we were growing up. Like you know, maybe you probably get 2 presents.
Yeah,
and that was a lot.
Yeah, you get the big one and the little one.
The big one,
to kind of go with it. Yeah,
you know,
and you might get a couple of small things. And selection boxes were a big deal. You see, no, you get like 3 selection. No, there's hardly anything in them these days, but there's like 3 selection boxes for a £5. But there's probably 3 or 4 bars, and they're the smaller version. But still, a selection box was kind of a big deal back then.
Selection box was massive when we used to get it.
Bars were full size as well.
They were, and 12, 13 bars in some of them.
And do you remember as a kid the big deal going down to Todd's? It was at the time.
That's right.
And the animatronics would be out.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. People used to turn up with it.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you see, I suppose we're in a streaming age now where everything is kind of instant with the fibre broadband.
There's no surprises anymore.
No, and there's no excitement for that.
No,
that was a huge deal for us.
Yeah.
You know, watching a snowman just grab a bit of snow and drop it kind of thing. And there wasn't much to it, but it was lovely. It was lovely.
I remember before my younger sister came along, me and my middle sister Margaret, we'd be brought down to Santa.
Yeah.
And it was in Todd's.
Yeah.
Because that was the only place that Santa was at the
That's
time.
right, we went to Todd's as well.
Yeah. And that would be the highlight of
Or Boyd's, I think, did it then after.
You know, I was 16 years of age at that stage.
Santa had a dodgy name. No, every one of my photos I have a puss on my face. She couldn't get me to smile for it.
No, because and you get that little thing like a lucky bag, we've said.
Yeah.
The little lucky bags that hand you out. You might pay £2 or £3. You get a
photo.
Then you get the photo and they hand you out a lucky bag with probably.
I think we're going to Santa this year. It's out in Stonehall. It's kind of an animal sanctuary plus.
Oh, lovely, John.
Yeah, but you've gone from €3 to about 68 now before you buy the photo.
Yeah,
and that's you know. I mean, you're talking everything is you realise Santa's to be paid, the elves have to be paid, the animals have to be kept. It's just, you know, it's hard for people. Imagine you had 3 or 4. That's going to bring that up.
Well, if as you said, like, and
three or four smallies.
Two kids is a big family by today's standards.
Oh, but it is,
it is a big family.
It is,
so imagine having 5-6 kids trailing after.
I think for people now, having an extra child is a financial commitment. That's
John.
The way they see it.
Yeah.
Like, can I afford to bring a child?
You actually, I think, John, have to sit down and seriously think, can we afford another child?
Can we afford another child?
That's hard.
Especially with the housing situation. Like, do you want to be, like, if you're lucky enough to have a place?
Yeah.
Well, are we going to be here forever?
We're going to be here forever.
You know?
That's the problem.
Yeah. It's so hard to get on the property ladder.
There's nothing there.
Yeah. And in Limerick, it's still the same for property rentals. It's very hard.
Yeah, Limerick, even Limerick's gone up to, it's gone higher than Dublin now for the sale of houses and things like that. It's just like for a provincial, it's kind of a city, you wouldn't even, we're not even one of the biggest in Munster, let alone in
no, I suppose we are the third city, but we shouldn't be like...
Yeah, we shouldn't be going more than Dublin.
No.
And I was talking to my daughter about that, and she was saying because mainly that's happening in say in Wicklow, in Kildare, they're all going up because the Dublin people have to move out.
They're considered like satellite towns now, aren't they? Commuters.
Think nothing of travelling 30-40 miles to work and 30-40 miles back.
And is that the life that...
That's not a life.
No, I mean, the work-life balance. And I think there's a model, the Nordic model, where, they do everything a little bit kind of differently. And I agree with a lot of it. Like, for instance, they don't really do homework and they start school at 7 and that's all proven to be good for children. Like, they have this work-life balance down a bit better. And it's very important because you're not just... You work all your life, pay off your bills, you retire, and then, is that it? Like, that shouldn't be it. Like,
and 9 times out of 10 when you retire, you get sick.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, John.
No.
I'm only a couple of years away. You're a long way away, John.
You're fit as a fiddle.
But John, in fairness, you're travelling 30 kilometres.
Where am I? About 27 kilometres.
Yeah, that's a lot though, to be fair.
You get used to it because
Spotify's ahead. John, it's in the summer's grind, but in the winter, with the snow, this, that and the other, and the roads are not treated out there. We're lucky.
Lucky enough the road's okay. But I get your point.
That's where it comes into these valuations as well of how hard it is.
Like the 4-day week is something I would be very much in favour of.
They were talking, speaking about that in England now at the moment. I think there's something going on there that they're going to try and do that because they said that they had one of the highest work schedules in the world. I think Ireland is higher.
They are, like, I suppose in London, the city London, as they say, they're very much geared toward... You're geared to the high. London. It's all hustle and bustle.
Yeah, it is all hustle and bustle.
Too much for me.
Too much. Too much. No one, none of us could really live over there. You're a nobody over there. You're someone here.
No.
We're talking about saying hello.
You definitely be looked at funny over there.
They look through you rather than
but they're not even they're not putting thought into it. They're going about their business.
That's just them. They don't know.
But that comes with the growth of a population anyway.
Yeah. And my daughter, who was in Dublin for a long time, Emma, she said that the same thing started happening in Dublin. Yeah. It's got so cosmopolitan.
There's over 1 million people in Dublin.
Yeah, that it's now. It's kind of that way. Everyone just walks ahead, does their own thing, So
and especially with, I suppose, the melting pot of cultures. There's all these different. And I suppose then we're looking at little kind of tribalisms, almost like where people will kind of like there is like, for instance, a Filipino community in Limerick, and they get together and all. And that, I suppose, as good as that is to have that little bit of home, it's probably a little bit kind of. We're separating instead of coming together, and we're all. But that happened in in New York, Little Italy, and there's a part of Boston with the Irish. That's a kind of natural thing.
It's a natural thing. You go to you kind of attracted to
tribalism. I think
tribalism. Because it's protection.
And there's good in it, but there's also negative.
Because you don't really get involved in the other cultures and things like that. You want to stick to yourself.
And I suppose we have like cultures that are so vastly different to ours. We mightn't have the same principles. And we can't get our heads around theirs, and they can't get their heads around ours, and that can fracture. I suppose that can't be a perfect scenario either, can it?
Well, you can see even with Christmas now. There's a couple of young kids going next door that are different religions, and they're looking at the lights, they're looking at the Christmas tree, and they're kind of and in fairness, they get involved.
Yeah. Well, look,
they get involved.
I think that transcends religion a bit at this stage, where it's just
it's a celebration.
It's a celebration,
of
family. I wouldn't be religious. I mean, I grew up, I did the whole, typical thing, like, but it's a celebration of family coming together now.
Family. That's what I think Christmas means. Is family.
If That'll get everyone involved, whether you're a different religion or then or whatever.
It should get everyone, because there's so much bad happening in the world at the moment that
it's not nice.
We need to start kind of respecting each other.
Yeah,
even for views and stuff.
Maybe embracing the differences rather than kind of using them to kind of stand off. Do you know, saying, look, these differences are brilliant. Like, I'd like to get to know about your food, the type of food you eat.
That's right, yeah.
Or would you like to, get to know about, I'm sure, like, even the lad Shamaka, he's here a long time now, he's from Poland. Like, he got involved in the folk project that we had on the radio here, and he had to learn the Black Velvet Band, which is hilarious to us, but he nailed it. Like, he was into it because he said actually Polish folk music, the similarities
is unbelievable,
and across the continent, isn't that great?
It's unbelievable, John. But it just shows how closely tied we are with the rest of the world. And even Christmas proves that.
Yeah, sure. Isn't there the what did they say, that if you break down our kind of down to our carbon element, we're all the same. Evolved from one dying star. Yeah, something like that, isn't it? Yeah, Brian Cox was saying.
What's the name of that telescope?
James Webb.
That they can look back now to the beginning of.
They're nearly at the Big Bang. John. They said essentially because it takes so long for light to get there, or something like that. That essentially they're quite close to when they think the Big Bang happened. You're basically looking back in time. That's
billions of years.
That's very fascinating. Yeah.
Sure, even as I said, when we were told, we were at school, especially when you were doing things like that, science and stuff, that we were actually looking at stars that had died millions of years ago. Yeah, because it took so long for the light,
and that's hard to get the head around.
That's unbelievable.
That's that's one of those kind of
unbelievable
head wrecks.
And that's where a lot of this the science is coming in as well. That people are kind of saying, are we like the same as the plants? Are we the same as are we just this living thing on the molecules on the earth? Yeah. And when our time comes, then we go back into the earth.
Yeah. Are we an energy force? It's hard to know. I'd be of the agnostic kind of view where I don't know. I don't think that would is true thing as an atheist, because they don't know. So an atheist is if you're just that's it. You know there's no God. Yeah.
Well, as a man said to me one time, no one came back to tell us what the other side was like, if there is another side. No one came back to tell us, but also no one came back to tell us there was nothing on the other side. So it's just are we
like to think there is. It would be.
Yeah, well, I hope everyone does, because it's a lovely concept that if even some people that have suffered all their lives in this life, that there's a reward at the end. Yeah. That they can step into another life, that they're going to get the reward. And that, I think that's what probably keeps a lot of us on the straight and narrow rather than...
Yeah, you should, although I suppose...
but there's goodness in people as well, John.
There is goodness. I suppose you shouldn't have the threat of damnation to keep your good isn't probably a good thing.
That's not a good thing, no. That wouldn't be a good thing, no. If you needed that to keep you on the straight and narrow, that wouldn't be a good thing, really.
We veered away from Christmas a bit.
John, Jesus, but just even it's just amazing that this, the Christmas and the planet alone, when you're going back looking at all these things now, and the star, like, was that star that was there in
was it a UFO?
Was it a UFO? What was it? The American, even the UFO thing, the American government are after coming out and saying that there's something there that they haven't. It's not theirs. Yeah, and they don't think it's the Russians or anyone else's. Okay. Now, maybe 90% it is the Americans, the Russians, and the whole lot. They're so far advanced.
But there's something else.
That 10% that they can't explain. Yeah. And that's...
Yeah. Well, none of us can, I suppose.
I don't know. Didn't some man say that we all have a doppelganger in another life?
Dimension or something.
Yeah, another dimension, that we all have
another person. But do you reckon there are people like around this planet that probably do look like us, just from the law of averages? Yeah. And that's just they're not us, like. But you can make a horror movie out of it, I'm sure they have. But imagine somebody like us walking around in I don't know, Australia.
Well, I hope the person's like me, and it was about 9 stone lighter, John. A full head of hair. But they said that, like, and that's what Christmas is about, is this magical thing that and it's trying to keep it magical for the kids and things, that innocence, unique innocence. It's family. At the end of the day, it's family,
That's all. That's all that counts.
But hopefully, we don't get complaints, John, that we're on about aliens and everything at Christmas.
Heathens. I've been called worse, have you?
Yeah. Jesus has been called.
Today even. Probably.
Well, we always are, John, today, yeah.
Even today we
can't repeat it on the
No.
John, yeah.
He's gone home.
Our fellow workmate has gone home, yeah.
Yes, we were saying Paul, right?
Yeah. he's gone home, John.
We'll get him on the radio one day, will we?
We'll have to get him on the radio one day.
Yeah.
But we'll have to put a beeper on it, John.
Yeah. Or after 9. Can we allowed to swear after 9 in the evening, or is that just TV?
I think we'd have to put them online now, John, could answer, because I think online we might...
Oh, so they can access them anything.
We still could be...
you can get the beeper, with software for that.
Beeper, John, yeah.
But you might need...
Here's the beeper. Beep.
For those...
When he's been nice to his customer.
Yeah, for those that don't know, he's our maintenance lad here. He's very good.
He's a character.
He's brilliant with older people in our Aging Plus project, and he's life and soul the place.
Yes, he's very good. He is. Himself and Pa O'Donnell, they decorated the place inside. Yeah. They're like two designers, John, I think. Yeah, we'll have to start renting them out here.
Paul and Pa, like salt and pepper.
Paul and Pa, that's right.
Paul and Pa, with the Paul and Pa, that's what we're calling them today. Yeah.
Paul and Pa.
Paul and Pa, yeah. Or Pa and Paul. They were debating which name
which name to call them, As you said, salt and pepper, yeah.
Back to Christmas anyway.
But John, we're going off in a
tangent.
But what's your Christmas memories for you, John? What stands out?
Star Wars figures. So nothing's changed there. I still like Star Wars. But just going down to Tots the Teens. Do you remember Tots the Teens? The Todd's window, getting the photo taken in Boyd's with the pus on my face because I never smiled in these photos. And Christmas party, then my aunt, when she was alive, used to bring me to the Full Flex Christmas party. Full Flex, I think they're gone now. I used to go to their party and you get an extra cent, an extra present. Those are the fun memories.
Yeah, they don't do many of those parties anymore.
You see,
maybe since COVID,
manufacturing is kind of not the same as it used to be. But I'm sure big places like Vistacon and all have sports and social clubs, so you can bring their children.
Yeah, my aunt used to bring us to what was the name of it? Lananette. I think that was a place in Shannon. Lananette, I think that's what we're called. And we go to their Christmas party out in Shannon. Yeah, and you get a fantastic present.
Yeah. Oh, they paid into it every week. Oh, to cover all that,
top of the range, and she'd have a couple of drinks and the whole lot, and we get the bus back in then. Back in from Shannon and the whole lot. You know, it used to be on a Sunday.
Especially the American companies invested; they were very good at that.
They were very good at that, John. Yeah, they looked after. They were family orientated. A lot of the American companies, you know, rather than the Irish companies, because they really paid into it.
Yeah, it was a reward for the year, and
and that's nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
That's nice to be thought of like that. But she used to bring us every year, my sister and myself, and we'd get another big. My outstanding thing of Christmas is one of the worst things I used to find was trying to get to sleep the night before.
Oh God!
Because you'd be in bed at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, felt like it'd be 3 or 4 in the morning. But it wasn't really.
It wasn't. No. And the brain, your mind going 90. What we're going to get.
Can't wait.
And then. Before you know it, then after about an hour you're asleep. Yeah. But
you run down the stairs.
Yeah. Running in to see what you got,
At 6 in the morning, 6:30. The minute light hit, basically.
That's right, you're
up.
Yeah. You don't see the kids out on the roads now till about 12,
no,
1 o'clock in the day.
No.
We used to be up.
No. I remember Aidan, like this is now, but Aidan's 8 now, but there was a couple of years I'd actually go in and tug his toe to kind of get into, because I was excited to kind of see his face.
His face. That's what. That's what.
And then when he was up, it was like the bags under the eyes, rubbing the eyes. It's lovely because it's all about kids. It's for everyone, but the kids really make it, don't they?
The kids, Sean. It's kids' time.
It's lovely,
and that's where the innocence has to be kept out.
Yeah.
And as we started the show. But it also has to be within reason of your affordability.
That's important because it's only going to affect the children in the long run. Because if you're overspending, I suppose back to the original point, and you're struggling then in January, it's going to affect the children because you're going to be stressed, you're going to be under pressure, and of course that's going to rub off on the kids. Kids sense these things,
of course.
So if people can to keep it as really people shouldn't try not to spend beyond their means, but it's very easy to say that when your child just is looking for the latest whatever. And there's nothing cheap at the moment. I mean, everything's gone up.
We were growing up, in my case, John, was only 2 channels.
Yeah.
1 channel at the start. Yeah. And they had
very
rare toy adverts on it. No, you turn on the TV now, every second ad is about toy.
Yeah. Or even if you go on YouTube and there could be the ad at the start is the Smiths one has been pushed at the moment.
Right.
I think Smiths are now the big. They started their in this. I actually worked for Smiths when I was 19 and 20. And they're Galway brothers, I believe, and they took over somewhere in England, and now they're the biggest toy store in England and Ireland.
Whoa.
So they're really doing well. And I think they're in France now.
In France as
They
well?
took over a French company, as far as I know.
Right.
Yeah, so they're really doing well. Like,
Yeah.
I worked. Do you remember the red brick building across from Henry?
Yeah.
That's where I worked.
Yeah.
And there's no lift.
I remember that as well. But
Yeah.
But I remember that as well. There's just someone walking in the door here now once. Sorry, John, you caught me in. But yeah, the red brick building there.
Yeah.
What's the bakeries up there? Kevin goes up there to get his bakery.
Yeah, well, isn't there? I think in the red brick building. No, it's the
bakery, it's the
church. It's like an African church.
Is it?
Like born again Christians or something? No, yeah, it's in around there somewhere.
Well,
there was no lift up there, and I remember no health and safety either. Really, if I'm honest, I was running around with snooker tables on my shoulders, back with a carry on, with 6 foot snooker table running up and down the stairs. But you were expected to do it. You know, you deserved every penny you got at Christmas because. They were all young fellas. We were all young fellas and young girls, and it was like it wasn't well paid. No, to be very honest.
Most of the jobs aren't there than there's anyway.
There was no bonus even renting.
What was the bonus?
I think you got a couple of free drinks at Christmas, and that was it. But you just worked hard, and it was Smith's toys. It was fun. The day flew, but you were like it was just bombarded with
things. Busiest time of the year, of course, for anyone in retail or anything like that.
And Christmas Eve, the doors would lock at 4 and people would be pounding, let me in. And you're just trying to get home because, no one's, the way everything closes on a...
When everyone else is at home, and you're,
But it was fun. It was fun, but for a certain age group, it's better suited.
You couldn't have a family.
I see the lads still now.
Yeah.
But like when my age now, I hope I would do that. But it was grand. It was fun. You got to see. It's a pleasant enough environment to selling toys to people. But so that was.
Well, John, that half an hour is after flying, John. We're
nearly
27 minutes into the show, so we better say our goodbyes. I think we have one more show before the Christmas.
Oh, good.
Christmas, John was just thinking 2 weeks time.
Try and be positive and nothing too heavy.
Yeah, not too heavy. We're trying.
That was a community streak through it, but
we might go into conspiracy theories. John.
No,
but John, thanks very much, John.
Thank you,
very
John.
enjoyable show, and thanks to everyone for listening out there. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. But we'll wish them a happy Christmas. Now, anyway. And hopefully, everyone enjoys it. No one gets too deep in debt. And thanks to Limerick City Community Radio as well, and St Mary's Adult Education Centre for allowing the two of us on the station.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
See you all again. Thanks very much. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.